update. Ottawa's police chief calls it part of their ongoing commitment to transparency.
We want to be aligned with the rest of the big cities across Canada. We want to see body-worn cameras for our officers.
30 Ottawa officers, those who respond to mental health and crisis calls, will start wearing body-worn cameras in November. Canada yesterday, Orleans today.
Most of our customers, unfortunately, we had to rebook for another day.
As another water main break causes disruptions in the city, the latest forcing the closure of an auto detailing business. And from winning at home in Ottawa to a big loss in Gatineau.
Has actually quite a bit of sentimental value.
The same bike that brought her success at the first Ironman in the capital this summer, now stolen, putting training for the Worlds in Spain way off course. Good evening. We begin tonight with a major change coming to the Ottawa Police Service. Some officers will soon be equipped with body-worn cameras, a way to increase accountability that many have been calling for more than a decade. CTV's Stephen Keys joins us now with the details on this. Steph.
Patricia, the Ottawa Police have been talking about this for a while now, as you've mentioned, a decade plus. And we know money pitfalls, or the expense, pretty much captures the reason for the body cam delays. So after years of talking about it, this fall, it's finally happening. Starting in November, 30 officers who respond to mental health and crisis intervention calls will begin wearing body cameras. In a report for the Ottawa Police Service Board, Chief Eric Stubbs says this project is part of the service's ongoing commitment to transparency, accountability, and community trust. The move is something the Ottawa Police Association is in favor of, with President Matthew Cox saying officers are in favor of wearing cameras, but there are concerns about expanding the program because of the cost. Just 30 cameras come with a price tag of nearly $600,000, and that's for a 39-month term, or a little over 3 years.
I just think that it's important that we get this pilot underway. I know that, like everything, it always comes down to budget restraints, and I'm hopeful that this won't be something that's slashed off if there's a deficiency.
Body-worn cameras were one of many jury recommendations that came out of the coroner's inquest into the death of Abdirahman Abdi, who died in 2016 after an altercation with police during a violent arrest. It was a high-profile case that sparked much discussion, and the jury recommendations are said to be aimed at preventing similar deaths. The Ottawa Police Service is one of the last in major cities in the province to get body cameras. Officers in Toronto, Brockville, and Cornwall already use them. The police are expected to provide more details in the spring about the pilot project, which could include details about possibly expanding it, but again, at what cost to taxpayers? Patricia.
CTV's Stephen Keys live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online, or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the Ottawa Police Service's body-worn camera pilot project getting underway this fall. Well, city crews are working to repair the second major water main break in as many days. A pipe bursting in Orleans this morning, sending water flooding onto the streets, disrupting traffic on one of the busiest roads in the East End. It comes just one day after yesterday's water main break wreaked havoc in a Canada neighborhood. Today's happening on Innes Road between Paget Road and Orleans Boulevard. CTV's Austin Lee is following this for us and joins us live with more. Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, these two water main breaks are just the latest examples in what has been a busy year for city crews. And while the disruption wasn't nearly as severe today in Orleans compared to what we saw in Canada, it does highlight the difficulty of staying on top of aging infrastructure right across this massive city.
Water gushing from a broken pipe in Orleans Tuesday morning, forcing a stretch of Innes Road to close and leaving this local auto detailing business without water.
Most of our customers, unfortunately, we had to rebook for another day. Some canceled, but it is what it is.
What we have here in the old city of Gloucester is steel piping. The city of Ottawa experiences a 40-degree on some years swing in temperature, and so that's a lot of movement on steel. The city of Ottawa now uses PVC piping, which is a heck of a lot more flexible.
Tuesday's water main break, the second major one in just 2 days. After one in Canada Monday morning turned the road into a river, flooding nearby businesses and closing Hazeldean Road. The Bank of Montreal in the area is still closed, but there has been some progress.
The good news we have is that the detour is in place, that it'll just be all on Hazeldean Road. Like instead of being 4 lanes, it's down to 2 lanes, but it's going both directions. That really supports the local businesses.
Hubli adds water pressure in the area has been restored, but residents in a handful of buildings have been asked to boil their water as a precaution. Back in Orleans, staff at Factory Detailing are thankful for the city's quick response.
The response by the city has been amazing. I mean, they allowed the customers that we have that are able to come in to pass through. And yeah, they've been really accommodating.
Now, the city says Innes Road has since reopened, but is down to 1 lane of traffic in both directions, east and west. As for the work to repair the water main in Canada, that will take some time, but exactly how long is still unclear. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, she was the first woman to finish Ottawa's inaugural Ironman, but now she's searching for her stolen bike worth thousands of dollars. It was taken from her car near Gatineau Park over the weekend while she was training. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with this. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, the bike wasn't just equipment. It carried Elisa Heiskanen to the finish line at Ironman Ottawa, and it's been the one she's been training on for World Championships, and says it won't be easy to replace. A summer of triumph for Elisa Heiskanen, the first woman to finish Ottawa's inaugural Ironman, but recently she faced a setback she never trained for. At first I didn't believe it. I was like, oh, it must be inside. It must be somewhere else. Like, oh, like there's no way it's actually like gone. She says her triathlon bike was stolen on Sunday while she was out for a run. The same bike that carried her across the finish line and the one she's been training on for the upcoming Ironman World Championships later this year. It has actually quite a bit of sentimental value. I bought it from someone that was a Paralympian, a Canadian Paralympian. So he used that bike to kind of get to a point where he was able to pursue the next level, and that's kind of why I bought the bike as well. She says she left her bike locked in the trunk a couple kilometers from here in Gatineau Park where she trains. But when she returned a couple hours later, it was gone. Someone had gone through all my stuff. There was stuff everywhere. Like I had all of my training gear in the car. My wetsuit was on the ground beside the car. And replacing it won't be easy.
They normally start at around $5,000 and it can go up as much as over $20,000.
Patrick Lacroix is the co-owner of this Gatineau bike shop. He says thefts like this aren't rare. In fact, he hears of high-end bikes being stolen nearly every week.
This time of year, inventory is kind of low. They don't manufacture that much volume of those categories of bikes, so they are very attractive on the reselling platforms, on the marketplaces online.
As for Heiskanen, she's offering a $500 reward, hoping the same bike that carried her to victory will find its way back. I bought this bike with the bike that was stolen with my own money, so I'll have to do that probably again for this new bike. So it's a huge setback for somebody like me, for sure. She says the bike is a black sparkly Trinity Advanced Pro with some noticeable features, including damage by the chain ring, a custom front end, and a black flow disc wheel, which she uses for training. Patricia?
Out for a bike ride, put it in the trunk, go for that run, come back to that. Really, really tough. All right. Thank you very much for this, Caitlin. CTV. Still ahead, a life lesson in Arnprior the kids may remember long after their graduation, taught by a deaf teacher and a deaf student on this International Day of Sign Languages. That story coming up. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. 22 degrees out there in Ottawa. A little bit cloudy there now. Certainly nothing like what we saw this morning when it was foggy, misty, gray. The whole city was sort of shrouded in that this morning. That we did get to some sunshine eventually here today.
Yeah, later this afternoon there was a little bit of sunshine, and I don't know if you noticed it too, but that humidity, I was a little confused. I'm like, wait, we're in fall, but it's feeling more like 28 here right now in Ottawa. Taking a look at temperatures across across the region. Yeah, so mentioned here in Ottawa with the humidity feeling closer to 28. Very similar throughout Eastern Ontario. Trenton, 22 degrees, but also feeling like 28. They even felt like 31 at earlier this afternoon. But really throughout the region, temperatures are sitting at a steady 20, 21 degrees. This will maintain as we get to our Wednesday. We're expecting a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow, but parts of the region could be seeing some scattered showers periodically throughout the day. We'll have those details in a little bit. And for now, we are going to take it back to you, Patricia.
Well, firefighters have managed to battle back against a wildfire burning just outside our city. It's still out of control, but significantly reduced in size overnight. A state of emergency in North Dundas Township is still in place as crews arrive from Ottawa and Cornwall to help contain the blaze burning dangerously underground. The fire is burning about 50 minutes south of Ottawa in Alvin Runnels Forest near Moorwood. CTV's Tyler Fleming reports from the scene.
A large-scale fire is tearing through this forest, and controlling it hasn't been easy.
It's accessible really only by ATVs and quads.
The fire broke out Sunday night at Alvin Runnels Forest near Moorwood. Flames breached treetops, smoke,
straight back. And it was like, whoa, okay, that's a little closer than we thought.
Our property goes right back to the road that they're fighting the fire on.
Nearby residents Jeff and Diane Egan say the forest is mostly a bog, a wet, marshy area packed with peat, which is now flammable after a summer drought.
We've been here almost 40 years, and that's never been the case.
And it's a major problem. The fire now burns underground.
And if it jumps and it gets into the bog, then it's got to come up the fields.
Rain, along with ongoing firefighting efforts, have shrunk the wildfire from 100 acres to about 10. And while homes are not at risk, a state of emergency has been declared.
I anticipate for 2 or 3 more days until there's a high level of comfort that this is under control.
One of the biggest challenges for firefighters battling this now underground blaze, water. They have to truck it in. It goes into these massive hoppers, into the pumper truck, and then down across these lines, 500 meters into the forest.
With small pumps, we're pumping water into the burn site.
Surrounding regions, including Ottawa and Cornwall, have offered to help the team of dedicated volunteer fire crews.
We have a great team, and the community has really come together to support us as well.
Coming rain could help, but the forest remains tinder dry. Police are investigating the cause as firefighters battle the subterranean blaze.
It's a big job to maintain, but
we certainly like to thank them very much for the hard work that they're putting in, and they're risking their lives too.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News, Moorwood.
And we have extended coverage of the wildfire in North Dundas Township. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The RCMP is investigating after a car drove into Dow's Lake last night. Emergency crews were called to the area around 8:15 p.m. Police say the driver left the road and crashed into the water. The driver was able to get to safety. He was transported to hospital by paramedics. It appears, though, the car still remains in the lake tonight. Ottawa police are offering a $75,000 reward for information about a fatal stabbing in Metcalfe 1 year ago. On September 23rd, 2024, Roger Dale Lusk was stabbed in his pickup truck near his home on Ira Morgan Way. He died in hospital nearly 2 weeks later. As part of the investigation, police released surveillance video of the suspect vehicle, a silver 4-door car. Police believe the attack was targeted, but no arrests have been made. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Ottawa Police Services tip line. And Ontario Provincial Police are offering a $50,000 reward for information about the disappearance of an Ottawa Valley woman. Brianna Traversy was reported missing in Pembroke more than 2 years ago. Police say foul play cannot be ruled out. She was 29 at the time of her disappearance and would now be 31 years old. Ottawa City Manager is looking to clear up confusion over the return to office mandate for municipal workers. In late August, Wendy Stephenson announced employees will be required to work in the office 5 days a week starting in January. The move has sparked some criticism, including from city councillors who are set to vote on a motion tomorrow to rescind the mandate. Stephenson is insisting there will be exemptions for some workers. Writing in a memo to council last night, there will be continued flexibility and manager discretion when considering alternative work arrangement requests including requests for hybrid work arrangements based on the nature of the position, service delivery, and operational requirements. Well, strong pushback tonight from Canadian citizens and the medical community after U.S. President Trump's unproven claims that Tylenol use during pregnancy is linked to autism.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it.
Trump announcing last night that the FDA will start notifying doctors in the U.S. that Tylenol use during pregnancy can increase the risk of autism. Health officials in countries around the world have disagreed with the claims, citing a lack of evidence. Canada included. CTV's Katie Griffin here with reaction to this. Katie.
Well, Patricia, experts say for decades it has been a safe and effective pain reliever for pregnant women, and that Trump's claims are dangerous.
Natasha Heron is ready to welcome baby number 2 any day now.
I am definitely feeling 40 weeks pregnant.
When she was sick early on,
I did have to take Tylenol. Again, relying on the recommended dosage, what researchers have proven to be safe is what I always fall back on.
U.S. President Donald Trump taking aim at the over-the-counter pain reliever, saying pregnant women shouldn't take Tylenol, making unproven claims linking acetaminophen to autism.
I think any political leader or any one in a leadership role should provide messaging and support good access to information. So relying on that medical evidence as opposed to, feelings and suspicions and maybe assumptions.
The language we're hearing from the United States right now is very stigmatizing to the autism community. It's very dangerous.
The president of the Ontario Autism Coalition says the rhetoric is reckless.
First of all, telling pregnant women to tough it out through pain and fever during pregnancy is extremely dangerous. To parents, particularly mothers of autistic children, they are going to start being blamed for their children's autism. And autistic people were referred to as something broken and in need of fixing, and that is not true.
In a statement, the makers of Tylenol say, "We believe independent, sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with the health risk this poses for expecting mothers." Experts say the evidence is clear.
When you look at the evidence in its totality, the overwhelming consensus is that Tylenol is safe during pregnancy. It is probably the safer alternative.
And after taking a tumble yesterday, stock in Tylenol's parent company bounced back today. Patricia?
All right, CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, a manufacturing plant near Brockville is set to close in the coming months. After more than 70 years, Invista will discontinue production at its plant in Maitland and relocate to its site in Victoria. The move will leave 100 people out of work. The company says the decision is based on today's market environment. It did not provide a specific timeline for the closure, but says operations will wind down over the coming months. Well, an investigation by federal and provincial privacy authorities has found that TikTok is not doing enough to protect the data of its young users. The joint investigation was launched in 2023 and looked into whether TikTok is complying with Canadian privacy legislation, particularly when it comes to children and teens. It found that although kids under 13 are banned from the app, hundreds of thousands of children are using TikTok, and the company collects and uses their personal information.
The measures that TikTok had in place to keep children off the popular video sharing platform and to prevent the collection and use of their sensitive personal information were inadequate.
Privacy authorities say TikTok has made improvements to its practices, including age verification measures. Well, developing news out of the United Nations General Assembly tonight, where the war in Ukraine is now at the center of discussions. U.S. President Donald Trump making international headlines with his comments about the conflict.
Mr. President, do you think that NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft if they enter their airspace?
Yes, I do.
Trump saying he would back NATO countries that do choose to shoot down Russian planes in their airspace. Then late this afternoon on social media, the president said he believes Ukraine can win the war and all the territory it lost to Russia, a stark shift from his comments about Ukraine in recent months. This comes after Prime Minister Mark Carney met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in New York today. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
At the United Nations, the Prime Minister and President Volodymyr Zelensky called for the return of thousands of Ukrainian children taken by Russia.
Putin has stolen Ukrainian children.
Russia first abducted them and deported them.
Together with our allies. The most emotional pleas came from their wives. Diana Fox-Carney making her first international speech alongside her husband.
As a mother, I simply cannot fathom the horror. What these children have endured is more than unjust. It is inhumane.
Their identities are changed, their ties severed, their hopes destroyed.
Canada said it's investing in AI technology to help find the Ukrainian children. Only about 1,600 children have been returned to their families. In his address to the General Assembly, President Donald Trump spoke of his frustrations with the continuing war.
It was supposed to be just a quick little skirmish. It's not making Russia look good. It's making them look bad.
Earlier this summer, during a meeting with Vladimir Putin, Trump hand-delivered a letter from the First Lady calling for the return of the children. Her efforts were acknowledged by Mark Carney in front of European leaders.
We welcome the recent powerful appeal to President Putin by the First Lady of the United States to consider the plight of children in ending this war.
This is an area of common ground between Carney and Trump at a moment when Canada is breaking with the U.S. in recognizing the state of Palestine. Judy Trin, CTV News, New York.
And stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the United Nations General Assembly. For updates on radio, you can tune in to News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. Embracing shared experience, teaching sign language. A deaf instructor at a school in Arnprior making a world of difference for one deaf student. That's coming up. Jackie.
Thanks, Patricia. We're in for a cloudy and muggy week, but the good news is temperatures are staying above seasonal. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam where, yeah, it's 21 degrees, but with that humidity, it's feeling closer to about 26, 27.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville, bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barhaven.
From every corner of the community.
In the Glebe. Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville.
From the team you trust, we are CTV News Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News Ottawa.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Wake up and start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could be $20,000 richer. Simply watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa for the daily code word. Then enter it online at ctvottawa.ca for your chance to win. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday morning 6 to 9.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. A qualified instructor, a willing student, a supportive school, and one grateful set of parents. Yes, something very special is happening at a school in Arnprior where today they mark the International Day of Sign Languages. Here's CTV's Dave Charbonneau.
Ryan Duchesne is the first deaf staff member at St. John 23rd School in Arnprior.
I like to engage with deaf students. I'm the same as them. I'm deaf as well.
This represents an L for love.
To celebrate Tuesday's International Day of Sign Languages, Duchesne led a special event with students and staff explaining the importance of sign language.
We celebrate deaf culture, and we all celebrate together to show inclusivity and honor that within the school.
Duchesne was brought here for one specific reason, to help teach Alex, a deaf student at the school. For the parents, the impact has been overwhelming.
We were just so taken aback about how amazing the school has been with Alex and getting him essentially all the resources you need to have the fully education process without any barriers.
They too are in the process of learning sign language in order to be able to communicate with their son.
Having Ryan at the school, teaching him ASL and modeling that language for him at school is huge. So now we need to learn a little bit faster so we can keep communicating with him at home too and reinforcing that.
The principal says recognizing sign language is essential for students and staff.
It's very important that we recognize deaf and hard of hearing month all month long, and not just for September, but throughout the year. But particularly today, International Day of Sign, it's really important for our students to see and know about sign language.
The school calls this a bilingual bicultural approach, a way to support learning in both English and sign language.
So you have the student who's following the instruction of the classroom teacher, being able to develop fluency in written and spoken language, but at the same time, simultaneously, we have the language acquisition support worker who is working with the student using American Sign Language.
For Duchesne, it's a chance to inspire change.
I'm honored and grateful for the school and the school board for actually hiring me and giving me this opportunity. My goal ultimately is to break down barriers and show that deaf people can do things.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
That's just amazing. Love that. Well, it may be fall here in the capital, still feeling quite summery in Ottawa. And there you go, the bees are out there enjoying the last of the summer flowers that are still around and the warm temperatures by Dow's Lake today. All of that, though, as we're starting to see some of those lovely fall colors at the same time. A little bit of both, the best of both worlds right now, maybe for a bit anyway. Jackie, today was interesting. We saw really a mixed bag of weather today.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's ideal conditions, but I love that you said that we have a little bit of summer, a little bit of fall, and the silver lining is we didn't quite see rainfall, but that is on its way by the end of this week. But right now, though, temperatures sitting at 21 degrees, but with that humidity feeling closer to 27. Sunset now before 7 p.m. So if we don't have those fall-like conditions, the sun setting much earlier will tell you otherwise. Overnight conditions 16 degrees, so still pretty warm for our overnight lows. Mainly cloudy skies. This will carry on into tomorrow. We will see a daytime high of 24 degrees, but parts of the region could see some showers overnight and into tomorrow. So just look at the valley, for example, Pembroke as well as Bancroft. Likely there could be chances of light rain moving through. 13 degrees is the overnight low, 17 for along the Seaway. Really temperatures sitting between 13 and 15 degrees. Towards tomorrow's highs, though, the humidity will linger where, yeah, we're going to see temperatures between 21 and 24 degrees. But when you factor in that humidex levels, it will be feeling more like 25, 28. So those summer-like conditions, yes, not quite shorts weather for the morning, but you might want that for the afternoon. As we look towards the rest of the country now, Atlantic Canada, 20 degrees in Fredericton with a little bit of rain as well. Towards here in Ontario, we can see that Sudbury, a risk of thunderstorm as well. 19 degrees for Timmins, Sudbury, Quebec still warmer at 22 degrees. And as we make our way to the prairies, temperatures are sitting between 24, 26 degrees. So that's part of pretty much the warmer parts of this country with a lot of sunshine as well in store. We will be getting sunshine, but not quite these next 3 days. Cloudy conditions are in store for our Wednesday morning and really well into the evening. Parts of the Eastern Ontario could see pop-up showers moving through, but it's not going to last very long. It's really Wednesday night, overnight into our Thursday. We're likely going to see some heavy rainfall move through, so be prepared with an umbrella as well as a raincoat. And this is for Thursday, so we are keeping a close eye on this because thunderstorms could also develop well into Thursday evening. As we look towards our 7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business, you can see that we are expecting showers for our Thursday with a daytime high of 20 degrees. And then we're trending to have temperatures sit around 23 for really well into next week. So if you're missing the sunshine this week, we might not get it for Saturday necessarily, but starting Sunday and really for early next week, we are getting more sunshine. So I don't think it feels quite like fall yet. Patricia, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, still some pretty nice temperatures out there. I got a feeling we're going to get punished down the road in October. It's got to come at some point.
I don't want to look at that yet.
Good stuff. Thank you.
I'm homeless, and I'm one of the lucky ones because I have a bed.
Well, just ahead, a record number of vulnerable community members need support. We'll have more on the Ottawa Mission's annual impact report.
Tonight, surging stocks despite tough times.
Every time we hit one of these milestones, like 30,000,
Everybody always asks the question,
what's behind the disconnect between Bay Street and Main Street? We'll have that story and more later on CTV National News.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
We'll take another look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. A warm evening, still 21 degrees out there in Ottawa. Well, emergency shelter beds at the Ottawa Mission are full as it copes with unprecedented demand, forcing people to sleep on mats or even in chairs over the past year. That's according to the organization's annual report released today. CTV's Peter Sperling has the details.
It's a new start for Donald Bertrand.
I knew that coming back to Canada, there would be a period of homelessness.
He's returned to Canada after living in the States for 25 years. Now staying at the Ottawa Mission while he focuses on what's next.
I can focus on, getting things started, getting a job, restarting my life.
He's one of many counting on a bed here as the Ottawa Mission continues to cope with unprecedented demand.
We're 5 years beyond the City of Ottawa declaring a state of emergency for homelessness in our City of Ottawa. And 5 years later, things are more challenging than they've ever been.
The mission stretched beyond capacity. All emergency shelter beds full this past year. Clients sleeping on mats and on chairs, according to its annual impact report.
That's the purpose of the impact report, is to show the difference we're making in housing 270 people, in providing 1.2 million meals a year, and all the other services, the wraparound services that the Ottawa Mission is coming to the forefront to provide. But our resources are limited.
Many of those turning to the mission for help are refugees, and while there has been a decline in the number of newcomers occupying beds, the federal government is ending its program housing asylum seekers in hotel rooms at the end of September.
I am concerned that some people could end up here at the Ottawa Mission if they're moved out of hotels without accommodation, arrangements being made, but we're hoping that if they are newcomers, they'll be transitioned into one of the two centers that the city has provided.
Those like Bertrand, thankful for the services the mission provides.
I'm homeless, and I'm one of the lucky ones because I have a bed.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Now, some other stories you need to know right now. We're learning just how many millions of dollars the city is owed in outstanding fines. CTV's Stefan Keys joins us now with the details on this and other stories. Steph.
Patricia, statistics provided to CTV News show drivers owe the city tens of millions of dollars in unpaid parking, red light, camera, and photo radar tickets. Around $68.1 million in parking fines dating back to 2001 remain outstanding. The city is also still owed $15.8 million in unpaid photo radar tickets dating back to 2020 and $8.1 million in unpaid red light camera tickets. That all totals up to around $92 million in outstanding fines. Ottawa travelers will continue to be able to fly nonstop to London's Heathrow Airport this winter. Air Canada was scheduled to halt direct flights between the two cities on October 25th before resuming service in the spring. But today, the airline announced it will continue to offer the flights year-round. The Ottawa-London flight will operate 3 days a week this winter on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Ottawa homebuyers needed to earn $390 more to buy a home in August. That's because mortgage rates in the capital went up over the summer. It means if you make less than $135,000, it might be tough to get approved. According to website ratehub.ca, the average price of an Ottawa home last month was $630,000. Transit users can expect disruptions with the LRT Line 1 starting this Friday and continuing until next Thursday. Line 1 will shut down at 8 p.m. on Friday for scheduled maintenance. R1 replacement buses will run between Tunney's Pasture and Blair stations, and starting at 11:30 p.m. on September 27th through to the 30th and October 1st and 2nd, Line 1 will only run on one platform at some stations. You can visit our website for all the details.
Here's Sabrango. Rick Batherson off the post scores.
The Ottawa Senators are in Toronto tonight for another taste of preseason action. Expect a few more stars in the lineup on both sides. Ottawa lost to Toronto in their only exhibition game at home on Sunday. The next play a pair of preseason games in Quebec City. against the Devils Sunday and the Habs on Tuesday. You can watch tonight's tilt on TSN or listen live on TSN 1200. So go Sens go. I know fans weren't too happy with the outcome on Sunday, but we are still very hopeful that we will clinch a playoff spot because that was very exciting last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Just preseason, so 7 o'clock start tonight. What I'll be interested in is those games in Quebec City.
Yes.
Especially between Ottawa and Montreal. Are fans going to be cheering for the Sens or are they going to be cheering for the Habs in that one? Be interesting to see, right? Yeah. Enemy territory or not?
Have you not failed at the task of getting this moving faster?
Absolutely not.
Well, just ahead, the federal government provides an update on its contentious gun buyback program.
Dream big with Move 100. Now, dream $20,000 bigger. Starting next week, listen for your chance to win $20,000. Dream big, win bigger with Ottawa's Move 100.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, the federal government is announcing implementation plans for the contentious gun buyback program, starting with a 6-week pilot project in Nova Scotia before opening up nationwide eligibility later this fall. But the minister responsible is under scrutiny after he privately questioned the program in leaked audio. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
Have you not failed at the task of getting this moving faster?
Absolutely not.
The public safety minister faced tough questions today as he unveiled the next phase of the federal firearm buyback.
The opening of the program to individual owners.
A program that he questioned the efficacy and enforceability of in audio leaked just yesterday.
I have absolute confidence in this program.
Then why did you say what you said? After a Cape Breton test run, owners nationwide of the more than 2,000 makes and models of firearms that the Liberals have outlawed will be contacted with instructions on how to participate. Those seeking compensation will either be able to turn their firearms over to local police after scheduling a time online, or keep them after proving they've been deactivated by a licensed gunsmith. The public safety minister said the context of his recorded comments were that he wanted the program implemented faster. But now, years after the buyback was first promised, firearms owners have until October 2026 to comply. And critics are calling for Gary Anandasangari's resignation.
On Monday, a minister says that his program won't work. On Tuesday, he says he's going ahead with the program.
The minister also faced calls today from gun control groups to expand the ban, saying unless additional semi-automatics are added, Canada's buyback program will be a waste of the more than $700 million already allocated. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
We want them to be in first place. That's why we're here, to cheer them on. Yep.
Well, coming up, lots of excitement in Toronto as the Jays get set to end the season on a high at home in front of their fans.
CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
Well, the playoff-bound Blue Jays have returned to Toronto for their final homestand of the regular season. They'll begin a series with the Red Sox tonight, which could have a major impact on the playoff picture. CTV's Raheem Ladani has more from Toronto.
Call it Toronto's playoff prelude. And this group of ladies have traveled from Nova Scotia for a front row seat to the performance.
We want them to be in first place. That's why we're here, to cheer them on. Bring them luck.
Meanwhile, these fans from Prince Edward Island are excited to
seeing the Blue Jays pitch, seeing Miles Straw play.
The Jays secured their first playoff berth since 2023 over the weekend, but with 6 games left in the regular season, still have plenty to play for.
Play the game, have fun, and then try to win it all.
The team is looking to lock up the division title, which they last accomplished a decade ago.
It's been on our bucket list. Yeah, we wanted to come and see them play.
I feel comfortable. I think they're going to do it.
The Blue Jays' magic number is 4. Meaning any combination of Jays wins and New York Yankees losses over the next 6 games would earn the Jays the division title, bypass the wild card series, and go straight to the ALDS.
Proud of them. I am a Red Sox fan, yes, but they are the only Canadian team in Major League Baseball, and I'm rooting for them, kind of.
And when Boston fans are cheering for Toronto, you know the Jays have sparked the city. Even the fire department's on standby. Raheem Ladani, CTV News.
Well, coming up, we'll explain why it could be a record-breaking night at the Jays game off the diamond. Jackie.
Well, thanks, Patricia. We saw a bit of sunshine today, but this week is shaping up to be more gray and muggy with heavy showers expected by Thursday. Overnight lows here, 16 degrees, so still pretty warm and mainly cloudy skies. But right now, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where it's 21 degrees. The sun is going to be setting within the next 10 minutes over Chateau Laurier and Parliament Hill.
Pure Country 94, Ottawa's country music station. Pure access to the biggest stars and the hottest songs. After all the bars are closed. Download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to Pure Country everywhere.
Tomorrow on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, a new small business is generating buzz in the byword market. We'll take you to G's B's. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa, starting at 6.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, The Voice, and back-to-back episodes of High Potential. And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
We want to be aligned with the rest of the big cities across Canada, and we want to see body-worn cameras for our officers.
30 Ottawa police officers will start wearing body cameras this November as part of a long-promised pilot project launching right here in the capital.
What we have here in the old city of Gloucester is steel piping. The city of Ottawa experiences a 40-degree on some years swing in temperature, and so that's a lot of movement on steel.
A second major water main break in as many days. This morning's happening in Orleans, flooding Innes Road and impacting at least one business in that area.
It's a huge setback for somebody like me, for sure.
An Ottawa Ironman winner now without her racing bike worth thousands of dollars after it was stolen while she was training in Gatineau Park over the weekend. So tough. One final look at this forecast and these warm temperatures, Jackie.
Yes, Patricia, we were lucky that the sun made an appearance later this afternoon. Tomorrow, though, cloudy start to the day, but fingers crossed the sun will shine again by the afternoon. 24 the daytime high, and then get ready Thursday. Anticipate some heavy rainfall moving through eastern Ontario, and we're getting to a daytime high of 20 degrees. It won't be until early next week that we will likely see more sunshine, more 20 to 24 degree weather. So yes, summer is officially over, Patricia, but I would say it's still wanting to linger around here for a little bit.
Absolutely. Let's get another streak of those sunny days going.
Not mad at it at all.
Yeah, not at all. Steph Keys is here working ahead to our 11:30 news. Steph?
Thanks, Patricia. Tonight we'll get a better picture of how the public is feeling about police wearing body cameras. On Talk Radio 580 CFRA, the text messaging board lit up, and so tonight reporter Sean Varden will hit the streets to get your feedback. A former police chief will also weigh in, and while many don't seem to mind the initiative to expand the program, it means expanding the budget as well. We'll have that and more tonight at 11:30.
All right, good stuff. Thank you. I think we're all officially on the Blue Jays bandwagon now.
Right? Bandwagon?
Right.
You're always
Toronto,
there. Yeah.
true. Yeah, you're good.
I'm just hopping on.
We're on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm like, it's 1993 World Series.
Yeah,
Let's go.
exactly. Because we actually remember that.
Yes, we do.
But I don't know what you guys are going to think about this. This is a record-breaking season for the Jays and for their fans. So far this season, they have eaten more than 733,000 loony hot dogs.
What, they have hot dogs for a
Good
loony?
them. Yeah, on Tuesdays. They
Oh,
beat the
I gotta
previous
go.
record of 727,000, which was set last year. So every home game on a Tuesday, Rogers Centre sells hot dogs for $1, which means you can afford to have more than one. Now, tonight, Schneider's will be giving 1,000 fans a hot dog T-shirt as part of a free giveaway to celebrate. I don't know. I can see Jackie and I wearing that T-shirt. I don't know about you, Steph. Your fashion sense is a little bit more elevated than ours. You'd cut it up?
Yeah, just redesign
a midriff bearing hot dog.
Not a crop top. That's a muscle shirt for the gym.
Oh, muscle shirt.
That shirt's looking pretty nice.
I feel like the people that eat a lot of hot dogs don't wear a lot of crop tops. Maybe that's unfair. Anyway, they're all having so much fun after, of course, the Jays made it official on their way to the postseason, and a lot of
I love that I want to go for the loony hot dogs, not necessarily the game.
It's
You're there
all
for the
part of
vibe.
the experience.
For the vibes, yes, you know I love a good
vibe.
vibe.
Yeah, good vibe, good dog. Have a good night on that note.
I'm hungry.